take real fast.
Whoa.
Do you need help holding it?
He took all this stuff with him. Man. He got all the deep muscles this side too. Because those should all be attached like that. Well, let's see. Well, let me see what I can.
We said this wasn't Jesus' cat, was it?
No, Jesus.
Hold the
Because
feet.
that someone else
Hold the
took
feet.
it.
Okay. I don't know who. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Why are we using this one constantly? This is
Okay, but you're going to be tested on all of them anyway. I'll just pick what's good on each cat anyway. But anyway, on this one, because I already cut the rectus abdominis on that one. This one's not on your list, but I'm going to tell you about it because you put it on this. This is called the transversus castarum. It goes transversely across the ribs. See that one right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's called transversus castarum. Okay, and it's just a little short one that angles down. It's a deep chest muscle that angles down, and then the scalenus, which that might be toast on this because I think there it is right there. Yeah, here's the scalenus. Hold it that way. This is the scalenus right here. This muscle here. That's fat. Take the fat off. Okay. The scalenus is this one right here. It runs up and down. Deep. It's a deep chest muscle. See, these are moved back. So that's okay. I mean, that
Scalenus?
scalenus, yeah. In the humans, there's several of them, but in the cat, there's just one of them. Okay, and then once the transversus castarum stops, see here's transversus castarum, okay, and then right here, there's a tendon, okay, and then everything on the midline down here, this is rectus abdominis. It's, let me take some of this off here. This isn't rectus abdominis over here. I'll take this stuff off, we don't need this. Oops, rectus abdominis just came off. It's attached to the transversus. See, that's where that muscle fibers are attached. So, but the other cat has it. So, okay. So this is transversus castarum. Then this is rectus abdominis. It comes all the way down. Okay. Then here's your scalenus, and then the one that you really want to see is the serratus ventralis. I think that one still might be intact. It's got little muscle slips that attach to each rib. It's about 7 ribs. Once I get down to it. Okay. There's subscapularis right there because it's on the underside of the scapula. Not that. Okay, subscapularis. And then see where it is on this, and then on this side, that's called levator scapulae.
The what?
Levator
Levator.
scapulae. And then where that becomes individual muscles that attach to the rib, that's where you start your serratus ventralis. Now, serratus ventralis isn't on your list. It says serratus dorsalis, but we're not doing the dorsalis. We'll do the ventralis. It's easier. Because you're on what side of the body? You're on the ventral side. Is that true?
yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to get the ventralis out. It's always a fan favorite because it's one students like to see. Okay, let me see if I can find the slips. Yeah, see the individual muscles right there?
Yeah.
So go there and just go strip. Go there and go strip. There and go strip. There and go strip. Okay, so these are the serratus ventralis.
All of them?
Huh?
All of them?
Yep.
Yeah, because they're like by the ribs.
Yeah, and there should be a couple more. There should be up as many as 7.
Serratus.
Yeah. So there's another one right there.
Serratus ventralis.
You know what a serrated knife looks like with the little edges?
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't hear it. Everyone was too quiet.
Are there like little face masks in here? The fumes are kind of hurting my stomach.
What's hurting your stomach?
Just the smell.
Yeah, I don't have any face masks.
Oh, yes.
Does chemistry have any?
I think micro might have some.
It's
Okay.
been leaning over and having.
But there's serratus ventralis right there. I'll stick it in one of the middle ones so you can clearly see it. All right. So let's review real quick. Transversus castarum, which is ripped.
Transversus.
Castarum.
Castarum.
Like costal means rib.
Yeah.
So
So
castarum,
transversus costarum.
because it's going transversely across the ribs. Rectus abdominis is going to come all the way down. Again, it ripped. Scalenus is this one right here. And I'll trim that one up because I can do that one. That one looks okay on this cat until I rip it. Okay, there's scalenus right there. And then this is the serratus ventralis. Yeah, the trick when you dissect is to take the fat and connective tissue off so nothing's left but muscles, but unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way. Okay, so serratus is pretty obvious. Then you have your levator scapulae, which is where the serratus stops being serrated. It just becomes one sheet of muscle. And then on the other side is your subscapularis. And then your external intercostals, roll it, see the ribs? Anything sticking here is external intercostal, right between the ribs, right there. Because there's a rib, there's a rib, there's a rib. Okay? And again, this is rectus abdominis that got ripped. Okay?
Rectus abdominis.
Rectus abdominis.
That's not
I
Yeah.
was making a pun. That's fine.
What's that?
I was making a pun.
No, I was saying what you said.
That's not.
I said rectus abdominis.
That's not pectoral. Because this is pectoral, right?
Yeah.
But that's not.
Well, it's
What
part of the
makes it-
pectoral muscle. It could be an axial muscle or pectoral muscle.
But
Depending.
rectus abdominis.
Yeah. Rectus means straight.
Well, I'm just saying it goes all the way down.
Yeah, all the way
The
down.
Oh, okay.
abdominis. Like if I had something to point with.
Yeah, that's it. Starts in the
up here
chest,
and then goes
right?
all the way
Okay.
down.
Here, Anna, here's a pointer that's, well, that has juice on it.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
So
show
now,
that's
so
all
now,
Okay,
what I
yeah.
can do is I can put it back together like that, and then see it continues. It ripped right there, but you can see how it continues all the way down.
Yeah.
Most of it's down here.
That's why it's the rectum abdominis.
Okay, we're not worried about the neck. That's going to be diagrammatic, so we don't have time for that. On the legs, okay, you got. Sorry about that. You got two superficial muscles. The gracilis is the one down here. Okay. Oh, got quiet back there. What time is it?
It is
10:57.
Okay, you guys go at 11:15.
Yeah.
Yeah, my other class is having their lab test on Tuesday, and yours is on Thursday. I can't do them on the same day because I just can't set up two lab tests on the same day. Not enough time. Okay, so you have the sartorius, which is right here. That's the one above.
Sartorius?
Yep. Means talar muscle. And that's the sartorius. Go back and forth. Okay. And then there's the gracilis.
Versilis or
Gracilis.
gracilis?
Yeah.
Kind of like chrysalis, but a little different.
Okay. And then over here you have the same thing. Hold it down like that for me. And whatever side looks good, you leave it alone. The other side, you go deep. So you always do the superficial first. There's the break right there. Let's just go cut it. Pop it out the other side. Oops, ripped. Guess where we're going to eat? So
Our cat's a mess.
Gosh, Brad.
it's not your cat, it's the class's cat.
Who's scared of this cat?
Nobody owns these cats.
Right now he's on our table, so he's in our care right now.
Okay, so sartorius has been reflected,
What's this?
and now the gracilis is getting reflected. Underneath the sartorius, you're going to have your quadriceps femoris, and underneath this, you're going to have your adductors. Okay. So this is called the femoral triangle right here. Separates the two groups. Okay.
What is
Now-
it called?
The femoral triangle.
Femoral triangle.
Yeah. Okay. Like a. Trying to get this off from over here. That comes off. Okay, so let me. I want to flip it. Yeah, flip it again. What's it?
It's lying on a pin there.
Okay, hold it like that. Thank you. Okay, let me see if I can find the vastus medialis. This has to be helpful. See, this is a problem when you try to do stuff deep. Stuff falls down in your way. That's connective tissue. So, okay, so this is the vastus medialis right here. Okay, and this is the rectus femoris. If you release or lift the leg up a little bit and lighten the tension, you can get your finger underneath it, and it will pop out the other side, except it's a little bit tight. Man, this one's real tight. Come on, pop out, pop out. It's not popping out very good. Come on, pop out, pop out. There you go, see? No tools, just hands.
So what was that called again?
This is the rectus femoris.
Oh yeah.
Right there, that's rectus femoris. And if you tighten it down, you can feel it tighten down when you know. So this is the one that does this. That's the one you use to kick. Okay, roll it back. Okay, so you have your vastus medialis, your rectus femoris, and over here,
I couldn't see that first one. The
vastus medialis,
vastus, okay.
rectus femoris, and then your vastus lateralis is over here. Let me get some connective tissue off of it. Everything gets so slippery when your gloves get juiced. Oops, got these forceps. Okay, so okay, there's your vastus lateralis right here on the side. Okay. So why do they call it quadriceps? Because there's 4 of them. So what's the 4th one? Vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, rectus femoris, and then underneath the rectus femoris, if you pull that out of the way back down here on the bone, that's the vastus intermedius. And where it separates from the vastus medialis, let me do that so you can see there. It looks like one muscle mass, but you can actually separate those apart a little bit. There we go. Now you got them separated. So that's all medialis over here. There's the intermedius right there. And you can feel the femur right underneath it if you push on it. Okay. That's all intermedius. Trim out these extra fibers, they're going to get in the way. Okay. All right, so those are your quads. Medialis, lateralis, femoris, and intermedius. Okay, see them?
Yeah.
Okay. And these are your sartorius and gracilis. Now, on this side of the thigh, okay, under the gracilis, there's 5 muscles. There's a semitendinosus, semimembranosus. There's an adductor femoris magnus et brevis. It's actually 2 in 1. And then there's a adductor femoris longus and then a pectineus. This is the semitendinosus right here. These are your medial hamstrings, the semitendinosus and semimembranosus. Semitendinosus is this one right here. Pop it through. Let's see, there's this.
That's right.
What's that?
Oh, I said I was right. That's the one I thought it was.
Semitendinosus.
Yeah.
A lot of
Is
fat.
that just fat
Yep.
you're removing?
Yep.
Gross. That's Frank.
I was gonna say.
Shadow.
That's what's in the back of people's knees. That's popliteal fat. Then, I hate this. Okay. Then that's semitendinosus right there. I try to separate it out. Then the semimembranosus is right to about. See when I pull it? See where it's ripping? So it's right to about there. Okay. So that's semimembranosus. Okay. Then here's your adductor magnus et brevis, adductor femoris magnus et brevis. Now we're rolling too much. Like about there. Okay. Whoop. Keep. Roll to me. Okay, hold it right there if you can. Thank you. Okay. So this is the femoral triangle where the blood vessels are. We're not going to try to mess up with the blood vessels. The first little muscle you come to is called the pectineus. So that's a blood vessel there. Okay. It didn't get perfused. I guess that's the vein. That's the vein. Okay. But anyway, so the first muscle you encounter on this side of the vein is called the pectineus. It's that little tiny one right there. Okay. There's the vein. Get the vein out of the way. There's the pectineus right there. Okay. And then there's one more muscle called the adductor femoris longus. And I'll get to that one here in a second. Clean this out. That's my problem. Okay. It's going to be right here. Okay. It's right. Looks like it's right about there. Okay. Okay. So let's review. Semitendinosus, semimembranosus, adductor femoris magnus et brevis, because there's a little one underneath it, adductor femoris longus, pectineus,
Which one's the small one under the magnus?
et brevis,
Brevis.
yeah.
Okay.
And then there's the longus, and then there's the pectineus. And then this is your femoral triangle with the vessels. Then you have your vastus medialis, vastus intermedius, vastus lateralis, and rectus femoris. Okay? So we got gracilis and sartorius, and then the deep ones.
What are the gracilis and sartorius?
There's the gracilis, and this flat one on top,
Okay.
sartorius.
Okay.
Okay, and then theirs has the tibialis anterior and the eccentric digitorum longus. Make sure you look at theirs. Let's flip it over and see what's on the back of yours.
Just been reading and stuff in.
Flip it over.
You what?
Just been
Okay.
reading and stuff in.
Oh, you got serratus dorsalis.
Yeah.
Where's that serratus? No, that's serratus ventralis. Okay. Yeah, serratus dorsalis. They come back here. Oh, that's where they are down here. We're not doing those though. We're just doing the ventralis. Okay. Okay. Now none of this has been done, huh? Okay. Let's go deep on this shoulder. This is the neck cladocervicalis. This would be your cervical trapezius. And back here, well, it's hard to say. Yeah, you got things cut. Oh, there it is. There's the thoracic trapezius. See a little yellow right there? That separates the cervical trapezius from the thoracic trapezius.
Thoracic,
Yeah,
trapezius.
right here. I'm holding it. Okay. But you see that yellow right there between the forceps?
Yep.
That's the difference. Okay. Thoracic, cervical trapezius, and cladocervicalis. Okay. On this side,
All this is going to be diagrammed.
no, they have it on their cat.
Oh, they do. Okay.
It's
It's
just
just
that
the.
right now. It's the neck that's diagrammed.
It's the front of the neck that's diagrammed. Okay. Now, on this side, okay, so I can see it better here. Okay. Thoracic trapezius, cervical trapezius, cladocervicalis, and then the cladocervicalis continues down on the arm as the cladobrachialis. Okay, so let me do the cladobrachialis right here. Okay, there's the cladobrachialis right there. It's messed up down here, but that's it. And then the acromiodeltoid is this triangular one right here. I can get that one out. I see that one. Acromiodeltoid, pop out the other side. Where is it? There it is. That's the acromiodeltoid right there.
That doesn't work.
Okay, and then here's your scapulodeltoid. Your scapulodeltoid is this one right here.
11.
Pop out the other side. Let me get up here on the other side. Pop out. Where is it? Where is it? Come on, come on, come on, come on. I'll come in from the top. Okay. That's your scapulodeltoid right there. Okay, clean up the edge here. Scapulodeltoid, which is a continuation kind of the thoracic trapezius. Okay. And then this is your triceps, which has 3 heads. This is your lateral head, long head, and deep in here is your medial head. So there's a medial head pops out in the middle here. I'll get to it in a second.
Not gonna lie, from this side it looked like you just ripped the
Huh?
arm off.
The what?
From this side it looked like that was like the arm that went flying.
Oh.
Broke.
There's the medial head. See it?
Medial head of the
Triceps brachii. All right. There's a nerve right there. But yeah, long head of the triceps brachii, medial head of the triceps brachii, lateral head, and when you pop the lateral head up, and then go right in front of it like this, and then now go like this, and then that's the lateral head of the triceps. That right in front of it, that's the brachialis. So that's the brachialis is right in front. So. I'm doing this a lot quicker than I normally do, but just because of time. Okay, but there's the brachialis right there. Okay, so if I get underneath it and clean up underneath it and lift up on it, hear the bone?
Yeah, I hear it.
Okay, so that's brachialis, lateral, long, medial head of triceps brachii. This is your clitobrachialis, which again, I didn't do this, but it was broke. But that's the clitobrachialis, cladocervicalis, thoracic trapezius, cervical trapezius, and this is your thoracic trapezius back here.
Isn't there a scapular?
There's a scapulodeltoid right here, and there's an acromiodeltoid right there. And then your latissimus dorsi is,
And that's a layer under the rectus abdominis.
what?
The latissimus dorsi.
Rectus abdominis on the front.
Oh, well, I was just thinking.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure out where your latissimus dorsi is, because it's missing.